Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're actually meeting up with Street Speed again right after Corvettes at Carlisle. We're gonna race him a little bit in that Huracan and see if the ZR1 is faster than a stock Huracan. All right guys, here we are. We just rolled up to the infamous Chick-fil-A again. We're here with Mike. What's up, Street Speed? We are gonna we're gonna run the Huracan and the ZR1 again, and this time we're gonna do something a little different. Depending on how it all plays out, we're gonna swap. We're gonna see what I do in that and what he does in that.
I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't actually driven a
It's been a while.
No, yeah, one of them was your orange one.
The manual car I've been driving recently is the GT500 I've been driving. So I've had some practice, but that's very different than the GT500 shifter. So
yeah,
it's been a while since I've driven a manual Corvette.
Should be pretty interesting, guys. Stay tuned. We got Turner and a GTR showing up, guys.
GTR's a surprise.
Hold on, man.
Nice to join us.
Turner's here. It's a party, man.
The fun is arrived. What's up, dude? Is that what took you so long? You had to get a GTR out? What's up, man?
How you doing,
How
John?
you doing?
Good.
Dude, I saw you actually. I didn't get a chance to say hi.
Nice car, man.
Thank you.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you.
Yeah, I saw you at stop at Carlisle, and I didn't get a chance to break away who I was talking to either.
Everyone was talking to people. It's all good.
Yeah. So 2016 Huracan, guys. We're gonna run that against my 2019 ZR1. The first time we did it, it was really close because I started in third gear, and I'll show you guys that here. Then afterwards, we got into the right gear. I started in second gear instead, and I started to pull on them, but there was a lot of traffic, so, you know, we got kind of jammed up. And it just so happened to be we ran into some extra time after Carlisle. We're gonna try it again, and if I do beat them or I don't beat them, either way, we're gonna swap these cars, swap the drivers at least, and see, you know, what happens then. Is it really a driver's thing with the stick or with the dual clutch transmission in the Huracan? You know, let's see what happens here.
Say bye-bye. And we say bye-bye.
Fam, driving the ZR1. I'm gonna let him get acquainted with the Huracan for a second before I go. Okay. Wow, his clutch feels really different from these GT500. I'm not used to this.
we say bye-bye.
Alright guys, so we just got done with the race. I drove the Huracan for the second round. I drove the ZR1 for the first round. Then me and Mike swapped just to kind of alleviate any possible driver mod comments. And honestly, this car is amazing. I love the Huracans. I wish I could have one. Maybe someday I'll have a Performante, but this is a really good example of a dual clutch transmission at work because this is 580 horsepower. That's 755. This pulls about a car length on this car, but at the same time, if that was a dual clutch transmission, it would probably pull 4 or 5 lengths on this car. So it's definitely a good example of it. Even though it is a much more expensive car, it does lose to the ZR1, but it's still a good example of why dual clutch transmissions are so freaking awesome. I still love those manual transmissions though, so that's not going anywhere. All right guys, so first thing, kind of cool. You got to push this button here to get the handle out to open this thing. It's interesting, but
it's got 40K on it, just so your viewers understand. It is a little bit beaten on. So it's not the most shining example of a Huracan, but it's pretty good.
That's I was going to touch on that because I mean, as soon as you open the door, you're well aware of that. But so I mean, you guys got your typical Lamborghini quality here for the most part. Like Mike said, it is a little beat on, but you got Alcantara leather everywhere. Interesting setup for sure. I mean, these seats, honestly, they are bolstered, like bolstered. And I actually fit in them pretty well. As you guys know, I'm not exactly the skinniest guy on the planet. I fit in there pretty well. Now, the one interesting thing right off the bat I thought was awesome is the steering wheel. This is first off, D-shaped steering wheel. Very cool, but it's not anything I've never seen before, but this kind of is. So on the steering wheel on the left here, we actually have the high beam, and then below it is the turn signal button. So you knock this little lever the way you want the light to flash, obviously, and then you push it in the center to turn them off. Now, for any of you who don't know, that's very similar to how you do it on a motorcycle, and that's kind of cool. Now, it is also kind of different, so it gets you really confused when you first start driving this thing. Now, everybody knows, though, with the Huracans, you have the whole flip lever, push button start. Pretty cool, gives you the idea that you're in a friggin' fighter jet. Definitely awesome and definitely different because the way the whole cockpit feels is of a cockpit, and it's like, why not add that little touch to make it feel like you're really like flying a fighter jet? But like I said, everything else is your typical Lamborghini quality. Leather wrapped dash, Alcantara where they can. And honestly, my dream car is the Performante, and if I had the Performante, all this leather stuff would all be Alcantara wrapped. But for the most part, it is this car with extra aero, more forged carbon fiber, and some more Alcantara. Now, of course, there's a little bit more to it than that, but at face value, that's what it is. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Like I said, the dual clutch transmission proves itself in many different ways. The ZR1 being manual, this guy sneaking up on me. The ZR1 being manual is more fun to drive, but honestly, these dual clutch transmissions are freaking fantastic. And thank you again, Mike. I appreciate it. You let me drive my dream car.
Absolutely.
I know it's not yours,
Thanks for letting me drive that thing.
Yeah, dude, anytime. We'll be back. Maybe next time we're gonna look at his GT500.
Heck yeah.
Awesome, Mike. Thank you again.
No problem,
You're an awesome dude. Hopefully you see a lot of him on the channel because he's awesome. He has cool cars. I mean, why not? Anyway, guys, subscribe if you haven't yet. I'll catch you in the next one.